conversation with the president whether he thought it was appropriate or not. Here's what I will tell you. The meeting that took place is not illegal.
Well, this afternoon, the White House deployed a strategy that seemed to come right out of a middle school playbook. Let's listen.
Can you explain to us why there is this plague of amnesia that affects all these people associated with the campaign and one country only?
Look, I think if you want to talk about having relationships with Russia, I'd look no further than the Clintons.
Well, for more, we're joined by our roundtable, Jason Johnson, politics editor for The Root and MSNBC political contributor, Caitlin Huey-Burns, political reporter with Real Clear Politics, and Dana Milbank, of course, the well-known political columnist with The Washington Post. You know, of all the dumb responses to this is to say that the president's son is dumb. Donald Trump Jr., who he's left his empire to run, doesn't have the smarts to know you don't deal with the Russians to try to, fix an election.
There are an awful lot of things competing for dumbest explanation and dumbest excuse here. I think my favorite is saying, well, what they did is not technically treason. And when you're making that argument, you're probably not winning the argument. But yeah, over and over again, we're hearing, he was naive, a rookie mistake. We've heard rookie mistake so many times that how did these guys field a team? I mean, we're 6 months into the administration now. You can't say rookie mistake over and over again. At some point, there's just plain incompetence. There's mismanagement, and certainly in the way it's handled. And clearly, a lot of us have been warning about nepotism. Well,
I've done that. I think this nepotism is what you get here. By the way, it's like Fredo in The Godfather. He's my brother, but he's weak. And also, Michael, I thought they were just going to scare you a little bit. I didn't think they're going to try to kill your kids.
Right, exactly. And you're hearing from lawmakers on Capitol Hill, well, he's a kid, right? A 39-year-old in these days are kids. What's interesting about what you pointed out, too, is that's long been the defense of Donald Trump among Republicans. He's new to politics. He can't quite know what relationships are good and not.
He went to the meeting in the arms of Paul Manafort, the chairman, who's Mr. Russia, who knows all about dealing with Russia.
Exactly.
And, of course, Jared Kushner, who he gives a portfolio, which includes the globe. It isn't like the kid went off on his own. He's not a kid, went off on his own.
And that's what's key here, too, is that Kushner is the only person now that works in the White House. The security clearance, of course, is a big question. Democrats calling for that to be revoked. The security clearance forms are what have brought out all these supposedly immemorable meetings.
Who's a Republican expert here? Anybody? Okay, I'll try again. Why are the Republicans? I know the people from the Rocky Mountains. They got the South Dakota guy. He's a good. Thune's okay, and they've got Orrin Hatch. No problem with him. They're all smart people. Barrasso from Wyoming. They found all these people from the more rural areas, the western areas, that aren't really driven by the New York Times or the Washington Post. I get that, but to have them come out and play dumb. We don't care about it. If that were Chelsea Clinton, they'd be frying her and her mother in oil right now. This is absurd that it doesn't matter that the son or daughter of a president is engaged playing ball with the sleazeballs from Moscow.
If it was Chelsea Clinton, if it was the Chinese, I mean, the excuse that I just got an email. Look, if I get an email from an African prince saying I won the lottery, I know not to answer that, too. He got something from the Russians. But I think the other issue here is this is because of the Republicans. These leaks are coming from the White House. These leaks are coming from Republicans.
Explain,
well, I think what this is, and I talked to a couple of people about this earlier today.
We tried to get that out of the last two people on the show.
You've got Republicans who sold their souls to be a part of this administration. They're angry that they've been marginalized, sidelined, and that Trump is ruining their opportunity to get all their policy goals done.
Caitlin,
I think they're
you followed it, but you're saying that they're out there. I hate this job, but I love this job. I love working in the White House. I can't stand the president. He's embarrassing me, so I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to sneak out to the men's room or the ladies' room with my cell phone and rat. Is that what's going on? Because we had 12 people feeding this story right now in the White House.
Exactly, and that's been the story for the past several months, this infighting. But also, taking this back to Capitol Hill, the reason that Republicans are not going to separate themselves from Donald Trump is because look at the approval rating of Donald Trump among Republicans, 85 to 90%. I was asking Republicans all day on the Hill today, what would it take? And it would take a lot. Either their agenda is completely squashed, which they don't think it is yet, or there's some kind of, criminal activity here, and they say they're not there yet. So you're not going to see Republicans
I think that's a very smart analysis, because I do think the people that voted for Trump did it with strong attitude about the establishment, and it's going to take an earthquake to change their minds. The roundtable's sticking with us, and up next, these two will tell me something I don't know.